Have you fallen down the cottage industry rabbit hole yet? Well, if not, buckle up, Alice, and click on over to the description in the show notes and sign up. Then you can get ready for the most fun induction into the cult of all things yarn and fiber. This will include, but not limited to, free yarn, free ebooks, patterns, coupons, and much more. You don't want to miss out.
You are listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts, a podcast featuring two crafty besties who love true crime and a good cup of joe.
Hey, amateur sleuths. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Heidi.
Hello.
We're night recording.
We are.
That means there's no coffee.
I mean, I'm going to talk about a coffee,
but not drinking it.
Yeah,
tonight.
Not drinking it, or else I won't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So we're night recording because our work schedules are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But we're making it happen. We're getting it done. Here we are.
Kids
are in bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Word.
Right before I turned everything on, I slammed my knee into the corner of my desk, so that was fun.
Oh God.
And it's like right dead center in my kneecap.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
that's like a really bad spot.
Yeah, it's a little painful.
Because
luckily I have high pain tolerance because
yeah, you do.
It would be bad.
Yeah. So what are you drinking?
No.
I hope there's a cocktail in there.
I have some vino.
Okay, much better. Good girl.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, I think a cocktail would be a bit much.
Yeah, no.
Might get a little too, would it be?
Might be too much. I mean, I do partake in whiskey at times. And when I go to see Heidi and Ben, I drink beer.
With Ben.
Yeah.
And I just watch.
Yeah. Then I feel bad.
It's okay.
Because she can't drink it.
Never feel bad.
I know.
That would
That's
be
just
like
my spirit. It's my guilty. I'm always guilty. I always feel bad.
It's fine.
So how was your day?
It was good. I walked the dogs and then my treadmill showed up.
I know. That is pretty awesome.
My desk showed up, both of which came early.
Yeah, because you really only ordered them like Sunday?
Ago. Yeah,
or Monday?
They were both
fast.
Not supposed to come until like tomorrow, possibly next week. So they both came today and I was like, wow. So I got that all set up.
Very, very nice. That is very exciting.
Oh, okay. I also went to buy chicken feed and they had a flock block.
Oh.
It's this giant block of like different seeds and stuff that the chickens just
that they peck at.
It's huge. And I'm like, okay, that thing's, it's not going to weigh that much. Oh my God. It's heavy.
Is it?
Oh yes. Heavy and awkward. But so I called my mom and I was like, why don't they call it a cock block? So she's like, you need to start a business and call it cock block. Yeah.
That's funny.
That was the highlight of my day. Are you looking at trivia?
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost forgot.
That's okay.
Hopefully I'm not doing ones I've already said.
It's okay.
My cards got mixed up, but I'm pretty good at remembering. We have been doing this for a while.
Good thing you are, because I'm not.
I might be doubling up, but hey, review.
Tough
right?
shit.
Oh well. So to start off, we want to talk about underrepresented missing person.
Oh yes. This week I found David Rio, I'm not really sure. Miyamoto, Asian male.
Sounds Japanese.
Yes.
With a last name as Miyamoto.
Very much so. And there's more to why I believe that as well, actually. Date of last contact was January 30th this year. So not long ago.
Yeah.
Missing from North Carolina, a place called Kannapolis. It's got 2 N's.
Yeah.
Anyway, that threw me for a loop. He's 30 years
There's a
old.
lot of things here in North Carolina that throw me for a loop.
Really weird words.
And I've been here for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Only 30 years old. 5'7" to 5'9", 130 to 140 pounds. So really good shape. Okay, circumstances of disappearance. He last communicated with friends via social media on January 30th, 2023. He has since deactivated his cell phone and social media accounts. 2 welfare check requests on February 2nd were unsuccessful. On the second attempt, law enforcement was provided access to his apartment by property management, and it was still furnished, and his personal belongings were still there. He's believed to be traveling in a white 2020 Hyundai. I don't know what this says. Ioniq or something like that.
I don't
Limited.
know what kind of car that is.
Yeah, 4-door sedan. Displaying a North Carolina registration plate of JCC-4525.
That's Juliet, Charlie.
Okay. His friends advised that he communicated daily, and it was extremely unusual that he no longer was using his phone or social media.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. He has black hair, brown eyes, and here we are at the tattoos. Full torso.
Okay.
Front and back. Described by friends as a combination of tribal and Japanese artwork and symbolism.
Okay.
Distinguishing artwork described as a beaded necklace around the lower neck area near collarbone, a large dragon on the stomach, head of a tiger on the upper left chest, large dragon on the back, and friends advised that placement of the tattoos are easily concealed by just a t-shirt.
Which is Japanese culture.
Yes.
Especially
in
the, yeah.
So that's what we've got. The link.
Did he have a relationship or
doesn't
parents
say anything,
or
doesn't
just
say
friends?
anything.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, if anybody knows, especially in North Carolina, I know a lot of North Carolinians. So if you know anything, reach out.
Yep. Anyway, the link will be in the show notes. So scroll down.
Okie dokie.
It's there.
I hope something comes of it.
Yeah. It sounds a little
hinky.
Yeah.
Not just a little. I mean,
Sounds pretty hinky.
Sounds pretty hinky. So, well, I may not be actually drinking it right now, but this is the one I needed to do for this episode because it makes sense.
Okay.
And you'll know later, but Peaches and Scream, Bones Coffee,
Nice.
Bones.
The sound of that one just sounds so gross to me, but like, I don't know why it's not that I hate peaches.
So when I could eat the instant oatmeals.
Yeah.
What are we doing, HaLeigh?
Oh no.
I come in here to be quiet and listen.
No, honey. I love you. Good night. I'll talk to you later. You knew I was recording. I can't make this stuff up.
No.
So
Kids, mom life.
but yeah, there is instant oatmeal that I used to be able to eat,
Yeah.
which is not great for you, but when I was younger, it was really good. And the peaches and cream one was
Really
like
good.
my favorite.
Yeah.
It was really good. That or the strawberries and cream. Those were so good. So
Yeah.
peaches and
I don't know
scream.
why it just is like
Coffee.
so gaggy.
I know but look at the cool artwork.
I know it's super.
They
cool.
always have such great
Love.
artwork.
It's nighttime. We've both had very long days, so
I've been up since 5.
it's
I
not
think.
too shocking that words are like even more hard than they normally
Even
are.
more hard. Yes. Artwork. I finally am figuring this stuff out, Heidi.
I knew you would.
I'm working really hard on this felting. And this is I'm not gonna lie, it's hours. Like it takes a long time.
I
But
think
it's
you're just
fun
a
and I want to keep
perfectionist.
well, I have to figure this out more because it looks so smooth. And mine's not very smooth, but
But it will be. I'll tell you the secret.
you have to like lay another thin layer over it or something, but
No, what do you mean smooth? Like you can see the holes from the needles right now, right?
yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh. It's not
Okay.
like
No.
flat.
Wait till it's completely done. Here's what
Uh-huh.
you do with your needle felting. Wait till it's completely done and then get it wet.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
like drop
Or-
water on it.
Or you can actually, so you can like, it's kind of a wet felting technique technically, but like you just get it wet and kind of rub it a little bit. Or what you can do is use a steamer, which is what I do for like blocking my knit projects, or like poof balls when you make the
Uh-huh.
pom-poms, when you trim them.
Yeah.
To get them to really fluff up properly with wool, you just
Uh-huh.
steam it. Steaming it opens up all
Oh.
the ends.
And it makes it soft looking.
It makes it floof up a little bit so it'll fill out.
Oof. I like it.
Yep. Secret of the wool trade.
Well, I mean, get your
I'm gonna have to start sending
get
Kristen
your
wool.
colors. Get your colors right.
Okay.
'Cause I gotta make that clearly.
I have all those colors.
That one.
I'll send them to you.
I need it.
I totally need. We should totally. I just had an idea and I don't want to say it on here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Carry on.
We'll save it. You just, tell me later.
Thought process.
Oh, yes. We get lots of things while we record.
I'll probably forget by the end.
Write it down right now.
Mm.
Like scroll it. Just
I'm gonna text it to you.
okay. I may have said this one. I probably did. But what snack is Tallahassee searching for in Zombieland?
Dude, I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen Zombieland?
Unfortunately, yes. Sorry, I hated that movie.
I love it.
Ben loves
It's
it
because
too.
it's so
It's
so
so dumb.
funny. He was lurking for Twinkies.
I mean, makes sense
Yeah.
because they can't. They'll
They
never
are so
die.
preserved. They
They're like
don't
cockroaches.
mold and don't.
Wasn't there like a whole episode of Family Guy about that?
Probably
so.
after Zombieland.
I think so.
In the 2012 movie, The ABCs of Death, how many stories were included in the film? Now, keyword ABCs.
26.
Very good. Good job. There was
Brain still works.
26. Powers of deduction.
I mean, yeah.
Clues.
Never seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I was like, probably 26. A group of scientists band together to save the world from a horde of fruit. In what 1988 movie? 80s. Think fruit, but we typically think it's
Killer
a vegetable.
Tomatoes.
Yes. Dun dun dun! Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I don't think I've seen that since I was little.
I'm pretty sure I was very small.
When did it come out?
Very old. 1988.
Yeah, I probably saw it in like 90.
Yeah.
With Crimson. Hi, Crimson. Hi,
Hey,
Crimson's.
hey.
Hi, Crimson's friend who listens to the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yes.
I have not seen this, but I think I need to see it. What was the name of the killer and mortician in the movie Phantasm?
No clue.
The Tall Man.
Dude, I need to watch some more
movies. I know. I need to.
I am failing.
That one I need to watch. Phantasm.
I'm just like so specific on my horror movies.
You have particular genres, whereas I kind of like all of them, but I mostly am geared towards zombies.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love zombie movies.
I really love the Halloween movies. I really love Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
The original one.
Yeah.
There were like
a lot of the
sequels were okay.
Yeah.
For the most part, they're not great.
I really like the Scream movies.
The Scream movies are great. Oh my god. I just remember going to see, I think it was Scream 2 with Ashley.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's an assassin bug in here. And
that was a long time ago.
She's super fun to go to a horror movie with because she
screams.
And I think that we had already seen it, so we knew when there was a jump scare coming.
Right.
And so we fucking scared the shit out of her, and she screamed in the theater, and it was glorious. Anyway. And I love all Rob Zombie. Every single Rob Zombie movie that I've seen, for the most part. There was one that was kind of but it was just because it was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like little too weird for me, but
right.
Which is kind of funny because
there's the movies where there's like it's a little rapey, and I don't care for those ones. Those scenes, I just kind of have to.
Those don't bother me. It's more when it's too ritualistic. I get kind of weirded out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a religion scare.
Go watch horror movies.
I'm like, there's a religion.
That's the point to this conversation. Go watch movies.
Yeah, go watch more horror movies, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And trigger warnings. There's not like crazy trigger warnings in this one, but there is murder by poison and death by possible sexual assault or dragging. But I mean, it's very little, and the most of the story is on poisons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't give anybody any tips. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't plan to. I mean, they can search it up on the interwebs if they like,
That's
but
true.
they'll get caught because,
Yeah. Don't do that shit. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You will get caught if you poison somebody. Like, that's just dumb.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't kill.
That too.
And don't be a shitbag.
Don't be a shitbag.
Speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
I am taking this back to the very first.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this was pretty fun because I did a lot of history research.
Okay.
Now, the first known serial quote unquote serial killer, because we didn't really use that term back then. It was just first known documented dates back to the 1st century AD, which is Roman Empire times.
Damn.
So we're talking before.
I'm kind of excited.
Before the first 100 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking old.
It's over 2,000 years old.
Damn, you're old.
So this is an incredibly interesting story, and it's rich with history, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. It's definitely taking it way back, but I did have fun researching and learning about not just this person, but some other stuff. So now I know what everyone's thinking. The first serial killer must have been some white, creepy old man with power.
Bring it on.
But it was not. It surprised me to learn that the first person to kill many people in a serial way was in fact a woman. Yes. Bring on the power. Yes. We can be the first.
I mean,
at something.
I kind of had a feeling because it was poisoning, and that's such a woman thing to do.
Yeah.
Because we like to watch people suffer, I think.
I don't know. This
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. I will tell her story soon, but first I wanted to do a little lesson on the term serial killer and Roman history because it was Roman times.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of folks think back to the FBI 1970s for the term serial killer, as for when it was first coined and first readily used. And it seems to be a concept, though, that has been going on forever. And this credit was given to an FBI investigator. His name was Robert Ressler. And by all accounts, he is deserving of the credit, but because of his extensive work in researching serial killers and violent offenders. Mm-hmm. Ressler is quoted in saying, "There are people that are pretty good at this, and I would consider myself one of them, certainly." Ressler convinced the FBI that profiling, which is an act of figuring out how and why the criminals worked, would possibly help the local law enforcement agencies to better figure out who they were looking for, right? Mm-hmm. Ressler had another investigator that worked with him for over 20 years. His name was Roy Hazelwood. And he said that profiling was far from Ressler's only contribution to bettering investigations into violent crime. He also said that he and another man, John Douglas, were the first individuals who actually conducted research on serial killers. Hazelwood says that together they coined the term, giving serial killers their namesake. Mm-hmm. Hazelwood also said he went on face-to-face interviews with the most notorious and successful serial killers at that particular time. Men like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. Mm-hmm. And Ressler also created interesting relationships with them, almost made them into friends.
Yep.
Because he spent so much time with them and became like got
But how could you
rapport with
not?
them and right.
I know that sounded weird. How could you not? But honestly, like these men that we're talking about were extremely intelligent people. And it's funny because it's like an intellectual conversation. I mean, who better to have it with? They're very
Yeah.
interesting. They're intelligent. Like it's kind of
I mean,
scary
he
to think
really
about. But
dug in deep into their
yeah,
minds, and he wanted to. He did it for a real law enforcement purpose. He
yeah,
wanted to create
understand too.
an understanding for, and he was very instrumental in getting this profiling working, you know.
Right.
Ressler also told a documentary team that was working on one of their movies that John Wayne Gacy gave him a colorful self-portrait of himself as a clown.
Yes, he
And
did.
yep, and written on the back it said, "Dear Bob Ressler, you cannot hope to enjoy the harvest without first laboring in the fields. Best wishes and good luck. Sincerely, John Wayne Gacy, June 1988." When Ressler asked Gacy,
sorry, John Wayne Gacy.
oh, I know he creates vomitous feelings,
but he's the one for me that really piqued my interest in true crime. He grosses me out. So like it's hard to gross me out. Let's be real here. He
Yeah.
grosses me out so fucking like I just gagged a little bit when you were saying that.
Mhm.
And I am working on his case.
I
At
know
some
you've
point,
been working on it.
but like I had to put it aside because I was like,
Yeah.
I can't look at
Yeah.
this right now.
I know. It's a
Ugh.
tough one. It's a really tough one. But Ressler's response to him was he wanted to know what he meant by the quote or by what he wrote.
Yeah.
And Gacy replied, "Well, Mr. Ressler, you're the criminal profiler. You're the FBI. You figure it out."
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
And then the dude died because he
Mhm.
was executed and nobody could
Thank
figure out.
goodness.
But I think reading it, it says that like to become good at what you want, you have to spend a lot of time out there doing it.
Yeah.
And that is what serial killers do.
Yes,
They
do.
spend a lot of time in what their obsession is and working in the field.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he was saying. I think.
Practicing, perfecting
Mhm.
what they love to do. Just like
Until they get
many of
caught or they
us.
don't get caught or they die.
Yeah. I love crocheting.
My hobbies include things not so horrific or grotesque, and it's making pretty artwork.
Yeah.
But
now
these guys did
now you're
not.
stabbing wool. Same thing.
Well, I am stabbing wool. And I've gotten good at not stabbing my fingers without the things.
It hurts.
No, I know. I stabbed myself the other day. But like today, when I worked on it some, I didn't stab myself once.
Good job.
It did good. So, anyways, Ressler also died in May 2013. He had Parkinson's. He was 76 years old.
Yeah.
However, during his lifetime and after all of his years, he wrote 4 books on profiling and serial murder. And one of the characters in the Mindhunter show that's on, I think it's Netflix, was based on him.
Yes.
And then his
So
other, John Douglas, his partner, was actually the one who wrote the Mindhunter book that the show is based on. And so it's them working with the serial killers. So now that we're armed with that knowledge, I might be wrong in saying that he was the sole person to have credit with the coined term of serial killer, because the idea has been around forever. And the phrase has been used in books and references and in law enforcement in other countries like Germany. It was used in 1930s Germany,
Okay.
but in poems and mystery books all over the world since the early 1900s. And there's a woman by the name of Jo. I'm going to say this wrong. I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's okay.
It's Teuwisse, spelled Teuwisse. Teuwisse.
I mean, that's what I would
don't know.
say.
But she's a blogger and a historian of sorts. She writes and researches history mostly on the Middle Ages and the 30s and 40s Western European history. She's from the Netherlands. She's from the Netherlands and writes articles as the fake history hunter. And she wrote a pretty interesting article that I read about the term serial killer. And we will have a link in the show notes if anyone's interested in reading it, and they can learn about where that term in other languages or what have you came from. But I would really like to give massive credit where it is due, because of his in-depth and dangerous work done in the field to Robert Ressler and his colleagues, because what they managed to accomplish is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Not everybody would want to fucking sit down in their free time and be like, so, Ed Kemper, what gets you going? You know what I mean? Like, no, thanks.
I might want to vomit a whole lot afterwards, but
yeah,
to have been in a room with him,
promise I'll bring you a shoe. Oh God.
Anyways. Oh. So knowing that, where does this take us? We got to go way, way back. Way back. First century Roman Empire. And when anyone thinks of the Roman Empire, I think of brutal war times, betrayal, heinous ways of living, carnage, just people living their own rules and
no toilets.
They did enjoy their baths.
Sorry. No toilet.
They enjoyed the communal baths.
Oh
yes. There was a lot of overthrowing current monarchies by any means necessary. So what was this time period like? And we got a picture 2,000 years ago, and the world was ruled by Rome, as we know.
Really cool sandals. Sorry, I had
That's all Heidi takes from it. The sandals.
The sandals.
It's the sandals for May. But Roman times, there was a mixture of brutality and sophistication, and was very strong, powerful, but also very greedy and tyrannical. So you had all these scholars and writers and people of nobility, but you also had despair and murder and overthrowing and gotta get that throne,
Yeah.
They were just very greedy and take. Since it was an empire, emperors were at the top of the hierarchy or the ladder, and some of the men were good, some were great, but most of them let the power go to their head. They often misused their power and did not really perform in the best way possible for the community.
Shocking.
So once you were an emperor, you died as an emperor. Assassination happened often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Occupational hazard, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, God, yeah.
I mean, they kind of had to know, like, oh shit, here I am.
Why
I'm
do I want this?
emperor.
Yeah.
Who's gonna kill me today? Because my days are numbered. The rest of the hierarchy was governed by their status and class. There were also slaves who were treated terribly, of course. And there was a man named Petronius. Petronius? I don't know if I say it right, but he was a Roman writer of the time, and he knew the city well. He wrote of daily life in the empire, and much of written history was from his work. He wrote about how Rome was more than a city, and it was a large force and not always peaceful. He wrote that even though there was revolt on occasion, the emperor was a huge achievement from where we came from. The creation of the marketplace, where you could trade goods and talk of other religions like Judaism and Christianity, happened there at that time.
Right.
And the empire, cannot speak, the empire became a hub for social gatherings and learning about other ways of life. And this multicultural melting pot, so to speak, is still relevant in our society today.
Only people would just be more accepting of it.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep fighting daily. I mean,
Yeah.
it's constant battle.
Okay, but did you know that Wicca is recognized as a religion by our government?
Yeah, I believe I
I
did know
just think
that.
that's really cool.
I had a student ask me today what color my eyes were. He goes, "Are your eyes gray or blue or green?" He goes, "Every day they're different colors." I said, "Yeah, I'm a witch."
Yes! I'm so glad you told him that.
They just laughed.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
one kid goes, "Whoa, what do you mean?" I said, "Oh, I'm a good witch. I'm not a bad witch." It's like, I make magic. I don't dispel that. Like, I don't make bad things happen. I make good things happen.
Don't worry, I won't eat you. I don't eat children.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
fuck.
They're like, "What does a broom work off of?" I said, "Dust." Gets its power from the
Oh my
dust.
god.
And then we went on and on about pixies and magic dust. And
Kids are so
anyways, it was a good conversation.
that's awesome.
Yes. But yeah, he was like, I didn't know eyes could change that often.
They do.
It depends on what I wear.
Yep.
So we digress.
It's okay, we're good at it.
Yes. Oh, that's another good one.
Oh yeah. Everybody uses that one too.
To digress.
Yeah.
During the first century, assassination and murder was prevalent, and using poisons was the preferred method because it was the silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
No bloodshed. Could often be said that the person died of natural causes, maybe.
They just never woke up.
They just fell over, stopped breathing.
Yeah.
Throughout early history, poison was the thing to be afraid of and the thing to learn about. And one such person did just that. I might say her name right. I might not. I don't know. But Locusta the Poisoner was born in the countryside of Gaul, which was a region in Western Europe of about 191,000 square miles.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Gaul became what is now known as France, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg, along with some parts of Switzerland, Germany, and northern part of Italy. So it's like
Okay.
that whole,
It's a big fucking area.
it was huge, yeah. And I will say it is huge because I've been to France and Switzerland and Italy and Germany and Luxembourg.
Damn. I have not.
I have not been to Belgium or Netherlands or Northern Europe, but I know it's pretty.
Road trip. Just kidding. Plane trip, then road
Plane trip. While growing up in Gaul, Locusta learned and studied herbs and plants.
Smart.
She learned all about that botany,
I mean,
herbology.
why not?
But she learned about what each plant did, the pros and cons, and she really enjoyed learning and understanding the poisonous plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Sources say that Locusta used belladonna or deadly nightshade, which I always think of Nightmare Before Christmas with Dr. Finkelstein and Sally,
Mm-hmm.
because they talk about the deadly nightshade.
Mm-hmm.
But Locusta could have also used arsenic, henbane, mandrake, aconite from monkshood.
Just a plant.
Yeah. Colchicum, hellebore, and yew extract. Now, I know some of these, but others,
A lot of them I'm
not
like,
so
what?
much.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that shit?
It sounds like a disease.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was known to have murdered several people in her area of Gaul, but no one knows who or how many. They just say that she murdered people because she was testing out her poisonous extracts.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's unknown how she moved or why she moved from Gaul to Rome. Some say she was brought as a slave. Some say she moved on her own, and some are just not clear about how she ended up in the big city of Rome. But she landed there and was there until her death.
Damn.
Yes. I spelled the word wrong very poorly.
It's okay.
Just fixing it.
It's okay.
Early on after her move, she found the easiest way to make some moolah and a profit while living there. And that was to sell her knowledge of poisons. And quickly after she started selling her knowledge, she became hired as an assassin. Yes.
I think it's
already. Is it getting to you?
I think I kind of know this one. I've heard of this person, I think, before. That's so cool. Okay.
Yeah. With Rome and its emperors and ambitious city folk, she always had customers.
Mm-hmm.
She found that she was a part of a very greedy world and everyone was trying to kill each other. One such customer who brought her some fame was the Empress Agrippina the Younger. And in 54 AD, Agrippina plotted with Locusta to kill her husband, Emperor Claudius.
All right.
The reason behind this plot was to make sure her son Nero could become emperor and not Britannicus, who was Claudius's other son that he had after Nero outside of his marriage to Agrippina.
Dirty, rotten whore.
Well, he was.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Claudius was the whore.
He's a dirty, rotten whore. Dirty Rotten Hood.
I mean, he was, using his
Claudius.
power to get all the ladies. I'm surprised he didn't have more children.
Oh, he
to
did.
be quite honest.
I guarantee he did.
I'm sure he did. We just didn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so Locusta made her poison of herbs to make Claudius's guard, because poisons were known to be used back then. So they had guards to test their food. That's when food testers started being a thing in royalty. And the poison was only a very slight poison. It made his tummy hurt and he got
Right.
sick and probably was vomiting and diarrhea or whatever. But he did not die. It didn't kill him. And then with him in the toilet or the bed, Locusta put the real poison on Claudius's favorite food of mushrooms, which he scarfed down. And some reports say that these mushrooms could have also been the poison because they thought that they were possibly the death cap mushroom.
Okay.
Or she sprinkled something over the food. Unfortunately, because of the age of poisoning, everyone left and right, he kept a feather near him to induce vomiting. But Locusta knew that he kept a feather to tickle the back of his throat so he could vomit.
Couldn't use his finger.
Apparently a feather was more fun. I don't know.
Weird.
So since she knew of that, she had already sprinkled poison on the feather. So he not only got it from the mushrooms, he also got it from the feather, and the feather ended his life. So he dropped dead.
Damn.
Boom. She really knew.
She knew him too well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Agrippina was like, hey,
but I'm also like,
my husband does this and eats this. And
yeah. I'm stuck on can you imagine being a food tester?
You're like, yes, sir.
I'm dying right now.
I'm dead.
It's poisoned. Fuck.
It's a terrible, it was a very
really
difficult life being born back then.
Yeah.
So once Claudius was dead, somehow, I think Agrippina probably turned on her or somebody turned on her, but Locusta was in prison on the charges of his murder.
Well, that's fucked up.
But Agrippina's son Nero pardoned her. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the dude wanted to employ her.
Oh my.
Yeah, so he pardoned her of all that stuff because he knew what was going on. He didn't care about his dad. He wanted to be emperor. So he was emperor, and a year after Claudius was murdered, Nero wanted her to create another poison. This was to take out his not even teenage brother, Britannicus.
Dude.
He was afraid that Britannicus would try and overthrow him.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
It was a very...
I like that people think that this is some kind of new thing, that people are assholes, but like...
No, it's been since the beginning of time.
Beginning of time. This is nothing new.
The beginning of time.
People have always been selfish fucking pricks. That's the reality.
Yeah, sadly.
Gosh.
I know. So this is where it gets interesting. The first time Locusta tried to murder Britannicus, it didn't work.
Okay.
Whatever, they say that she used arsenic, but it was too low of a dose.
Oh, okay.
So Nero was pissed off, and he flogged Locusta for her failure. So,
Dude.
yeah, he beat the shit out of her with probably a cat o' nine tails or something. I don't know.
Probably. Oh god.
Maybe a stick. I don't know. It was the first century of
People were
you know.
brutal.
It was.
I mean,
There was a
still
lot
are,
of brutal
but
times.
The
Yeah,
torture back then was legit. I mean, it was fucked up
yeah. It was a mess.
and it was normal.
Yeah.
Let's not normalize that, people.
No,
Okay?
that's not. So Nero made her then test out the poison amounts on town children because he wanted to make sure the next time she tried to poison Britannicus, she got it right. So once they got the right amount after murdering probably numerous children from the streets,
Yeah.
they made another plan. Britannicus enjoyed hot wine with his dinner.
That's
I don't.
disgusting.
I mean, I guess it's like mulled wine,
Still.
but it's still weird. And he was like 12 years old. So.
I mean, wine
But
was not.
everybody drank everything
Also,
back then.
wine in other countries to this day is nowhere near as strong as it is in America.
No, it's not. I'm sure it's.
The alcohol is much less in other countries.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like drinking water for them back then.
Yeah.
So this particular dinner, he was served his hot wine, but he had that tester. So the tester tasted the wine. He said it was too hot, but he didn't get sick or die. So they grabbed cool water and mixed it in, and that was where the poison was.
Fuck yeah, it was.
Because she knew the tester was going to taste the wine and not the water, because he already tested the wine. It was fine. So now the water mixed in.
Dude.
And she poisoned it instead of the wine. He immediately stops breathing or talking, but Nero knew his brother had epileptic seizures.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. And said that must be what was causing him to stop breathing. And he died shortly after.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Sorry. Sorry, I'm yawning.
So this was.
That's insane.
So like 55. Yeah, we're in 55 AD, right? Nero is emperor for several years. And for Locusta's murderous efforts, Nero rewarded her with her own estate and gave her servants. He also gave her students to teach about herbs and botany so that they could also become poisoners.
Great.
Yeah. Apparently, he allowed her to teach while testing poisons on convicted criminals, slaves, and animals.
Oh my.
So she continued killing. She basically was born, learned about poisons, and then just killed.
I have a great ancestor who poisoned her husband to death.
Oh.
I know.
I'm pretty sure you told me about that.
Apple pie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Arsenic in the apple pie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She cray cray.
Yeah. So we now know she had murdered people in Gaul and Rome through most of her life. She killed mostly for profit, but also for her craft because she was honing that craft.
She had to get good at it.
She had to
somehow.
test people. She had
Yeah.
to test it on people. She can't possibly let this just, what is she going to test it on herself? She can't test it on herself. She works the field.
Got to do what you got to do.
Unfortunately for Locusta, though, Nero committed suicide in 68 AD. So about 12 years she got away with being rich and testing her poisons and killing people.
Mm-hmm.
But without his protection, she lost her rewards, she lost her riches, and a new emperor was on the throne and arrested her.
Oh, no.
Yep. She was sentenced to death for all of her crimes. And in 69 AD, some reports say this is where the mess is.
Yeah.
They say that she was chained up with some other convicted criminals that were going to be executed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dragged through the streets of Rome and then killed. But some stories say that she was raped by a trained giraffe.
Oh my fucking God. Yeah, that'll kill ya.
Yes.
Don't know how big a fucking giraffe is.
But I think that was an over-dramatized story. I don't think that they could really train a giraffe to do that.
Oh my! Speaking of donkey, sorry,
we're not gonna say what that is, but
whoa, okay. Speaking of donkey, you're watching this show that's in it's like homesteaders in like the backwoods of where I was born in Idaho.
Okay, yeah.
And they were trying to get the donkey to mate with this mare. She was like not having it. So anyway, she like kicked him and shit. He had to go back home so that he could like impregnate the 7 mares that his owners had. This motherfucker jumped right up there. And when it pulled out, Ben and I both were like, oh my God! Did you see that thing?
No.
That's fucking huge. Ew. Anyway, and then I was like, those poor girls in the donkey shows.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Okay, maybe that needs to be a trigger warning.
It's a real thing.
It needs to be a trigger warning.
Don't look it up. Don't do it. It'll fuck up your history. You'll start like getting weird shit popping up in your Facebook ads.
Please don't look it up.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Heidi really went off the rails with that.
But I could see how you could die from that.
Well, yeah, of course you would die from that.
You can train any animal.
But I'm not so sure. It sounds a little outlandish and dramatic.
Yeah,
I feel like it sounds more plausible for history purposes that they were drugged, chained up, naked,
through the streets
and stoned, and then had their heads cut off or something. It doesn't sound.
Maybe there was a guy whose nickname was Giraffe, and he was really tall.
Okay,
just saying.
We'll just go with that. That's the giraffe we're going with.
By game of telephone and Pictionary.
Oh, of course. I mean,
got fucked up, and somebody thought it was a legit giraffe because maybe they were like me and they were blonde. Sorry, blonde joke. I had to. Anyway,
we are both. We're the most intelligent dumb blondes you'll ever meet.
I mean, we have our moments.
Okay, so theories aside, she died. Yeah, she was executed. It was awful, disturbing, and painful no matter how she went.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that is the terrible, awful story of Locusta the Poisoner, our first documented serial murderer.
She is not the poisoner I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. There's another one out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I'm looking at my desk that I put together, and I think I put something on backwards. Not that it matters, but it's going to bother me.
It will bother you.
Yeah.
Because you're like me, you gotta have it right.
Just gonna have to get over it. It's gonna be fine. Everything is
So, I know that was a lot.
a gnarly case.
Yeah. But now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know a lot of things that we didn't know before. Maybe others will now know something.
Yeah. I have to look up that other poisoning case. And
like, is it from deep way back history?
It's a historical case for sure.
There were, I will say that I
also-
didn't put in this, but historians did write about a trio of poisoners. There were 3 females. Locusta was one of them, and there were 2 others with some crazy names that I don't remember. Claudie,
If I can find enough information on my whatever she is ancestor, I should totally cover that.
Oh, that would be a good one.
She got away with it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Then she plotted her own kidnapping and faked her own kidnapping. Did not get away with that one.
That gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
What is that? The plot of Gone Girl?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh boy.
Beware of the apple pie in my family. Just kidding. I make really good apple pie with cranberries.
She's just not gonna do as much cinnamon.
Yeah, fuck this
on anything.
God damn. I almost died, you guys. Don't overdo it on the cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's the extract that was the problem. Okay. All right. That was a really old case. Good job.
Thank you.
Gnarly.
It was tough because, a lot of it could be fables.
Yes.
The historians from way back when, the only writers and scholars were men. So,
well, and a lot of stuff just gets lost in translation throughout the years. So,
so hopefully it was a good story.
Yeah.
I enjoyed learning about all of that.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. I mean, it's fucking scary, but yeah.
Yeah.
People
Poison,
are greedy.
guys.
They always have been.
Always have been. Power goes straight to their head.
Yep. Yeah. Looking at the lights shining in my window. Yeah. It's like Christmas all over again.
It's pitch black outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see past that. All right. Is that all we got?
That's all I got.
All right. I'm going to go to bed now. You should do the same.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it gets me.
Or drink that wine. Drink that wine. All right. Until next time. Ta-ta.
For now.
Thanks for listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts. If you love our podcast, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. This helps us more than you know. If you really love us and want to support us, go to our website at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. From there, you can join our Patreon, shop our merch, and find us on social media.